Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is time for the ultimate build, and by that I mean it's time to build the Krill Ultimate. So before we go into this and actually look at the model, you probably see some of it around me at the moment. I need to give you just a little bit of background story, so bear with me. You've probably got that one aircraft that you've always wanted, and this is mine. So I've always wanted an ultimate biplane. I like biplanes. I've only ever owned one or two before, a long time ago, but all the biplanes, I've always wanted the ultimate biplane. And when I saw Krill had released one many years ago, I thought I must get it. Didn't get around to it for whatever reasons, and then got released the Mark II version, which is this, so bigger ailerons, lower wing to the fuselage, a few other changes which I'll go over later. I thought I must get one. Now, to extend that story, there's been a whole load of problems trying to get hold of this aircraft. But Krill had some problems in the factory. They lost a load of staff during COVID, had to retrain, got delayed, got refocused on other projects. It just took time to get the model out. Of course, there's a queue as well, because a lot of these models are built on demand. But was it worth the wait? I think I'll let you guys judge that, because I believe it was. So it took a long time to get, but I have had this model now for 2 or 3 months, and you guys haven't seen it, which is a little bit odd for me. I did do an unboxing video, but I never published it, and the reason why I had to unbox the model just to get it into the house and into the workshop. So I rushed the unboxing video. It was a really dark day, it was about to rain, it just didn't come out very well, and I thought, shall I release it? And I thought, no, I should wait. And then I got busy. I started a new job, I got busy with work, and then I lost my job. And I completely lost my mojo for the hobby for a bit. Didn't want to start this build, and just got put off by everything. But then a friend of mine asked me to build a couple of his models, and that's the Extreme Flight models you've seen come through recently. The AJ Raven, a couple of Extreme Flight models, Edge, Extra, and also the PC21. And that's got me back into it. And I've found my love for it again. So now we're just going to crack on with this model, get it built in probably 2 or 3 videos, and also get it flying. So stay with us. So let's take a look at the Krill Ultimate. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the spec sheet for the Krill Ultimate, and I'll throw this up on the screen as well. So it's the Ultimate 300 KS Mark II by Krill, which is 39% model, which gives it a wingspan of 2.3 meters, just over, and a length of 2.5 meters. So it's quite a size. All up weight should be about 15 kilograms. And there you see a couple of pictures of it looking absolutely gorgeous. So the first thing you've probably already noticed is that mine isn't sprayed, mine's white. So normally these are sprayed in the mold because they're a composite model, but mine's currently white, which I'll talk about later on as to why that is. Right, let's take a look. Starting off with the fuselage. So currently sat on the stand. You can see that this is the top wing support, which is actually lower down on the Mark II, which gives it a better, I guess, center for rolling between the 2 wings. Canopy on, a whole load of components inside there, which we'll get out very shortly. And then the fin as well. Okay, let's take a look inside. So as per normal in my workshop, I'm trying to find a camera angle that works. Those of you that follow me will know that I quite often moan about the size of the workshop, but at least I do have one, which is good. I should be grateful. So let's undo the 4 screws, 4 bolts. Being super careful with this at the moment because the stand, as you can see, is pretty wobbly. And the last thing I want to do is drop this on the floor, having waited almost a year for the model. So there we go. Nice composite canopy. Kind of is what it is. A few dollops of glue there. Have to look at those. Put that to one side. Have a look what we've got inside. So I might just pull this out and then have a look on the bench. Got all the stuff unwrapped. It's obviously the spinner to look at, which will be sprayed up as well. Bunch of components in there. Just going to take all this out so I can show you inside. loads of stuff in there. A couple of spats. Again, we will look at those in a minute up close. Well, at least I can get right inside here with my hand. Oh, very nice. Bunch of pre-cut parts there. Looks like the pipes and some trays there for fuel tank, smoke tank. I'll cover all the equipment. Actually, I'll show you guys what's going into this, because I have everything I need for this model. Tail wheel by the looks of it. A couple of random bits of foam down there. Looks like the wing tube and undercarriage set. So the top wing on this is one piece and the bottom wing is plug-in, and the tail's also plug-in. Alright, there's no more pieces in there. Let's take a look inside. Okay, so all we have is a tray, servo tray there, for dual servos for the rudder. I'm going to be using a single servo here because I've got a Savox servos I'll show you in a minute, but the one I've got for the rudder is more than powerful enough, so I'm going to make it a little bit lighter just with a single servo. And inside the fuselage, you see all the way up front there, nice, plenty of space to be able to get into, although I'm sure I'll moan about that at some point when I'm trying to squeeze my hands and heads in there and glue stuff. So there's some extra support down there by the looks of it. Let's zoom in. Probably just about see it. Slightly out of focus, but the camera get some light. There we go. All looks very good. Okay, what should we do? Let's take the front cowling off. Don't know why I just called that the front cowling as opposed to just calling it the cowling. The thing is, when you're recording these videos and you're in a workshop by yourself and you're just talking to yourself, you do come up with some random stuff every now and then. I'm well aware you can't see me at the moment, but it's more important you see the model. It's the same screws, bolts, holding it in. Just going to undo the ones underneath first, two underneath. We'll get this model up on the bench at some point when I start building it properly. There she goes. That is quite a size. All needs to be cut out. So the first thing I'm going to say, it doesn't look weird without the cowling on. It's going to look really weird. But what you've probably noticed as well is that it's got the right frost built into it. So there's a different angle here to there is on this side. This is obviously the centre line here. So you can see it's over to one side. There's no holes for the mounts or the blocks, but hopefully that'll be easy to do once we get onto that section. But there are some nice holes underneath, which will be for the cans. So I'm going to use GP123 on this with two pipes. So hopefully there's plenty of space to run those through. You can just see the plywood reinforcement inside there as well, where the foam currently is, and that's for the undercarriage to bolt to. So pretty pleased with my white fuselage. Shame it's not sprayed, but I will come back to that point. Yeah, I like it. Let me know your first impressions, guys, in the comments below. Right, let's have a look at the wings, tail, and the bits that I just pulled out. I think we'll start by looking at the wing, because I need to make space on the bench as we go, and I can just take a look at this and I can move it out of the way for the other bits, because this is quite a size. As I said before, refer back to the book, to the manual, the assembly guide. Its wingspan is 2.3 meters, so 2,330 millimeters. And the top wing is one piece. Well, let's give you my first impressions on this. So this, first of all, it's super thin. This is a really thin wing. Something like super thin. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but yeah, it's thin. It's still in its cover, so I will open it up. That's the whole point of this. say cover, I've actually got some Revoc covers coming for this model. They should be here this week or next week, and then I can at least get it protected while it's in the workshop, because composite models can dent very, very easy. So if you're about to build one or have not built one before, just be careful with them. Any little dent will show up and will dent easy, which is why I really recommend a full set of covers, which is what we've got coming for the Ultimate. Very nice. Let me give you a close up of that. Okay, so this is the bottom of the top wing, obviously the top wing being one piece. So here are the trays for the servos. The lower wing supplies the leads to the upper wing, so you don't have to run leads through the top of the fuselage. I'm probably making no sense, guys. You'll see it when it gets built. I know what it is at the moment. It's a big old ailerons, pre-hinged already. Really love the way they do this. Same as my big Krill Extra. If you guys haven't seen that model fly, I'll put a link down below for you. Centre points there for the top connection for the wing. And going through as well. There we go. Nice big ailerons. One of the things they've changed on this model considerably is increased the aileron size. Let's flip it over. There we go, that is the top of the top wing. Absolutely amazing. That hinge line gap. Hardly see it. So I did read as well that they've actually used the traditional hinge which is normally used, but also 3 extra hinges on each side here, which you can just see. It's another change they've done on this version. Let me see if I can get the profile of it for you. That's how thin the wing is. Pretty cool. Guys, I couldn't help myself. I've just peeled off the tape which was holding the aileron, just so we could have a look inside here as well, because that's what you want to see, isn't it? Look at how's that for movement. Get close up in there. It's pretty cool. Let's try the other way. Very nice. That'll be more than enough. So that was the top wing. Now let's have a look at the bottom wings. Bit easier to handle than the top wing. There we are. That's the wire coming through, or the string coming through, which will go up into the supports for the top wing, for the extension leads. I'll sort that out later. There you go, you can probably see the profile better there. Look how thin that is. So tube, extension lead, bolt. That's tapered as well. Spin it over. Again, exactly the same. Hinge the same way. Really nice. Nice servo box in there, reinforced with some carbon. That's like a frame in there. Also some nylon inserts, because the servo will attach to the plate that goes on there. So when you take the plate off, the servo is attached. So it's important that it bolts down really securely. So the other wing panel is exactly the same. So let's instead have a look at the horizontal stabilizers. Wow. The size of that elevator is the first thing that's jumped out at me. That is absolutely massive. Let's get unwrapped. Super light being composite. Look at that. The front tube there for location, main tube. There's a pin there, so you can undo this and pull out the entire elevator, which is what we'll be doing when we spray the model. Let's just pull this tape off, so again we can see the movement. Here we go. That looks good to me. Should be more than enough. So one of the reasons they changed the model was for high-end competition. So it was doing pretty well, the Mark 1, and they made some tweaks for it to make it perform better in competition. That's where the Mark II came from. I like it. Very nice. The servo, I believe, sits inside. So you probably have to take out that support. It's in that moment. Screw the servo through, and it should come out through. And looks like you got to put the hole in yourself. Yeah, put a hole through here. Then it'll connect up to the horn back here. That'd be interesting. I have to make sure I've got some nice sharp Dremel bits when I start working on this. Okay, great. Let's see what's next. Let's open up this bundle of bits which was inside the fuselage, if you remember. Fairness to Krill, it was very well packaged. Really? Was that the rudder? Yes, it is. The size of that. There we go. Recognise the shape now. Again, there should be a pin. There it is at the top. So there's a pin inside there, which you pull out. And you see I pulled it out a little bit there. That pull out all the way, and then you off it up to the fuselage, push the pin back through, and that's it. It's connected. It's on. You can just see it coming through here. So yeah, a couple of horns to put on there. Doesn't look like much work to do on that at all. Looking good. Let's see what's next. It's like Christmas. It's in here. Aha. Yeah, supports between both the wings. Very nice. A bit of felt top and bottom at the moment. Obviously need a little bit of work, a little prep work on them. Put a hole through to run the wires through. Might would be a hole underneath the felt, we'll see. Okay. Ah yes, I recognise these already. So the undercarriage on the Ultima has like fairings on it, and these are basically the fairings for the undercarriage. Just gives it a slightly different look. I know I'm ripping the foam at this point, but I am going to start building the model today. Or possibly tomorrow now. This time's getting on. There we go. So yeah, basically they're in two pieces. Well, they've got an open section there. So it's joined on one side, which I think is the front. So that'd be like that. So the wheel come in, fuselage sitting here, spat down here. And you sort of slide that on over the undercarriage and then get that glued behind. That's what it looks like. Nice, possibly a fiddly job to do, we will find out. It's kind of looking that way, isn't it? Got a laugh. Right, that's that bit out of the way. Chuck that on the floor. Well, it's got wrapped up. Shall we have a quick look at these trays while we're here? I guess you guys want to see absolutely all of it. That's rather nice. That's like a carbon finish in there, laminated. I can't remember what that material's called. I have to look that up, and I'll chuck it in the description. But yeah, so two trays and then the components there to build up and support the tray. So that'll be for fuel tank and for smoke. I'm going with smoke on this, which you'll see in a minute. And I've actually bought some spare material as well, which I'll just show you. So from Krill, I bought a couple of sheets of different thickness carbon, which may or may not be used in the build. Again, it's just laminated ply with carbon squashed down, and some more of that material as well. So a plain sheet and also another sheet. So maybe making a tray inside the model. That's the idea behind this, for different parts like the power box unit to sit on, what have you. We'll see as we get through, but I thought I'll get them at the same time on the order. So there's the tray. And then in here, pretty obvious what this bit is. It's for the cans, for the pipes to run through. So that'll go inside the fuselage. and pipes run through there, pretty standard stuff. Right, put that away. Let's see what's next. Let's have a look at this. This must be the tail wheel assembly. Nice. Carbon fibre, as you'd expect. Interesting little tail wheel there. Not sure my thoughts on that at the moment. I'll give you my thoughts actually. That kind of looks a little bit naff, doesn't it? Maybe it'll do the job. It's probably light. Okay. And obviously steerable as well, though the instructions do say not to bother connecting that to anything. It just says you don't need to, but I think I am going to connect that to the rudder. So there's a few more bits to go through here. Let's grab it all over as to what comes with the model so far. I've not covered anything extra. So let's have a quick look at the spinner. Carbon spinner. Yeah. Very nice. Now, this is going to end up being sprayed. I'm pretty sure at this stage. I don't think I'll leave it black, but it is. That does look nice. Alley back plate, nice and thin. Pretty light. Just tuck that away so it doesn't get scratched. Okay, what's next? These are the undercarriage legs. Like a present inside a present. Wrapping. Oh, didn't expect them to be white. Of course our model's white at the moment. It's kind of weird that they're white because they are going to get covered up. But fine. So they've got nuts. Oh no, the washers. Washers are glued in. It's an interesting way of doing it. Shiny. Okay, moving on, something a bit smaller. There we go, for the servos in the wing. So these are effectively the boxes. Very nicely made. The servo will screw down inside there, the horn will come out through, and that will screw down into the wing. Give you a close up of those. Nice. Pile them up there. Let's have a look at the spats. Oh, good. There we go. Okay, we'll take that line out when we respray. Just fiberglass in there. A bit of reinforcement here. So on these, I think from what I understand, you obviously have to cut this out. When you mount it, then you have to cut 2 slots. So again, just make sure we've got a nice sharp Dremel bit to go through this in one go. And we have one more left, which I think was an extra. Oh no, this is the linkages. It wasn't extra. So not much compared to some other models, but hopefully it's all we need, or close to all we need. What do we have? Hopefully this is the template. Aha! That's handy, that saved a whole load of work there. So a template for the DA120, a couple other engines, DLA, GP123, which I'll be using. It's in red, so I should be able to stick that on the front and then mark through the holes and drill that. That's good. So I wasn't looking forward to doing that, and now it should be absolutely fine. Yeah, they've drawn the blue line there. That's where the seam is on the front of the fuselage. Just line that up and mark these ones out. Easy. Shouldn't have said that. Right, let's not lose that. Couple of stickers. Come on, Krill. Could you give me a few more of those? wheel axles, pretty standard stuff. A couple of screws to hold on the spats. And then these are the new horns, which are new for the Mark II version as well. Different before. So I think all of these have to be adjusted. It tells you as you go through instructions as to how much to take off, depending on what control surface you're going through, because obviously some of the control surfaces are really thin. So you adjust those down just by trimming X amount of millimetre off. And then you've got the ball joint inside there. Now that's nice and tight, it doesn't feel like any slop in there whatsoever, which is what I like, and the bolt's already through it. So they're a plastic, in case you're wondering, which I'm fine with. Now I'll get these put on and these will be sprayed in to match, or I might end up masking them up, possibly masking them up, I don't know, we'll see what it looks like. So we've got a whole bunch of those control surfaces. We've got a few bolts, which I'm guessing are for the servos, as in for the, the parts I just showed you a minute ago, which the servos bolt to screw into the wing. Servo trays, if you like. Bunch of these. I'm not sure what they're for at the moment. Sure, we'll find out. There's a chunk of those, and then these I recognise from my Krill Extra are to hold the wings on with. So that'll be to hold the two halves of the lower wing on, that screw through the fuselage into the wings. So not a massive toolkit. So what you probably have noticed, there's no closed loop, no servo heads or anything like that. That's all extra, which is fair enough. Some other manufacturers do provide extra bits, but this is all Krill provide. So now I've shown you the model, let me show you what I brought to put in the model. So this literally are my box of goodies, my stash that I've had for some time. Just come in different deliveries, but I've been slowly buying bits for this model over a period of time. So obviously I ordered it a year ago, so I had a year to buy the components for it, which is what I did. So let's start off here and just dive in, so I can't remember what I've got. So we've got a whole bunch of Savox 1270s. So these are the 1270 TG Plus, which is the newer version, 8.4 volts. So that's going on all the control surfaces with the exception of the rudder. Come back to that. Get out of those. We've got a couple of S-Bus receivers. So I'll be running two RS7003 SBs on this, coming out of the power box. So that's for redundancy. So they need one S-Bus 2 lead into the power box, one for each receiver. Nice, I mean super small, look at those, really is great. Get rid of another servo, servo. A couple of the Extreme Flight tanks, the Flowmasters, 34 ounce, for fuel and for smoke as well. So there's two, should be the right size to go in there and give me hopefully 8 to 10 minute flight. So I'm guessing at this stage, depending on how aggressive. Be interested to see how smoke comes out of that as well. Chop those over there. Aha. So this was the separate pack that I was referring to just a few moments ago. Again, by the way guys, Aerobatax supplied all of this for me. Everything you're seeing today I bought from one supplier. They are the UK supplier for Krill, but also all these other bits you've seen on the bench at the moment they can get. So this is from Seacraft. So this kit basically is for the ultimate from Seacraft. So you've got the pull closed loop and all the really nice fancy linkages there. Yeah, they do look nice, don't they? Colour coded as well. Cool. And we've got the various different size servo arms that they recommend. Loads in there. Let's have a look at the one with the rudder. Looks a bit more impressive. Super nice. And even the rods as well. So there'll be the rods for the ailerons. So put the ball joint on each end. Nice aluminium turnbuckle rods. 70 mils. And other ones in that packet as well. And of course also, not sure if we need these, but a whole bunch of ball joint ends as well. 3mm M3s. Great, brilliant. So that is the majority of the hardware. The linkages, chuck those over. See what else we've got. Oh yeah, another servo, another servo. So obviously there's 4 servos for the wings. That makes sense. One for the throttle, one for the choke. And I seem to have a spare one there, which might have been from another model, because the rudder one oh no, elevator, of course, map. And then the rudder one is here. So the rudder's going to get an SB2290 on it, which is the same as what I've used in my 104-inch Extreme Flight Extra. Really, really good servo. And I just want those to be enough on the rudder. God, it even says monster on there. It must be good. Oh, I'm losing it in the workshop on myself. Okay, so moving on. I've got a whole bunch of power box servo wire and connectors because we're going to make my own leads in here because I want them exact length. Now I probably will use some 2-to-1 connectors by power box just to simplify some of the servo wires, make it a little bit tighter, which I'll show you probably for the wings. Talking of which, we have power box systems. Open it up, where is it? No, I'm dropping it here. Well, there's a screen for it. I'm sure you guys have seen these before. Just trying to get the model number right before I say it. There we go, Competition SR2. Okay, long time since I've ordered one of these, but I've used one of these and gained the same 104-inch extra. A couple of other models have got them in as well. Really super easy to set up. I've actually got a tutorial on my YouTube channel, so I'll link that below as well, of actually just configuring one of these. I'm doing the servo matching, which people are normally worried about, but no, this has got it all built in, it will do it for you. Great, so that will go in as well, so that'll be making a tray up for that. So glad I bought that ages ago because they've probably gone up by now. And then in this last box we have the 2 RX packs. So 5200s be using in there, 2S packs. That should do the job nicely. Again, redundancy in that model. Let's go on to the other box. What have we got in here? So some of these bits are from another model. Anyway, we've got this. So this is basically some pliable plates which will get glued and stuck together, which will bring the engine out from the bulkhead. I'll probably put a hole through them as well to make it a little bit lighter. And this also should help dampen some of the vibration. Now this is a tip directly from Clive at Aerobatax. So he has recently built a Krill Ultimate, which I went to go and see and look at, which he's done a really good job on, and this is what he's used. So I've just got these from him to do the same thing again. So we'll see how that works out. Got 2 headers which I need to adapt for the smoke, so I need to I believe put some holes in these, run some tubes into them as well, so the smoke can be injected directly onto the headers. We have the fuel cap. This is a dual fuel. Yep, nice and tidy. So fuel on one side, smoke on the other side. So they pop out. And there we go. They're actually magnetic, really strong. Looks pretty nice. First time I looked at that. And of course, power box smoke pump as well, which are pretty configurable. You can actually adjust via the transmitter as to how much smoke, and you can put a mix in there as well, so that as you increase the throttle you can increase the amount of fluid going through the smoke pump. That's from a different model, so let's not look at that. And then of course, the only 2 bits left, I believe, are first off the cans. Let's get one of these out. There we go. Very nice, shiny, shiny. Straight down for the exit. KS. Not used them before, but again, come strongly recommended. Pop those away, slide them along. And then finally, GP123. Now, my other 2 petrol models have got DAs in them. I've got DA120, and I've got a DA200 LM. But I'm hearing great things about GP. Again, Clive recommended to go GP. A lot of the top guys are flying them. Not that I'm a top guy, but I just thought, you know what, let's try something different. Let's go for the GP. So this comes with 2 silencers, which we won't be using. So obviously we've got the cans. So let's get them out of the way. Absolutely tiny in comparison. That's the part of the ignition system. Don't need that right now, just part of the engine to give you a look. Which of course is stuck. Wow. There we go. There she is. 2-cylinder boxer engine, carburetor, choke. There we go, that's better. That way around. Oh, it kind of locks in. There we go. Nice. So have fun running that up and getting it running. Hopefully it'll start just as easy as the DAs do. Right, okay, let me explain why I've got a white Ultimate and not one that's been pre-painted. Okay, so why have I got a white Ultimate? When you clearly go onto their website, they do different colour schemes in there, you use a configurator, and you can set your own scheme. But first of all, let me show you the one that I wanted, which is this one, which hopefully you agree looks super, super cool with the yellow and different colours there, the 300 down the side, looks really, really nice. So that is what I ordered. Did a custom order of that, and that's what I've been waiting for. However, throughout the process, something went wrong. So it come to, well, first of all, the model was delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed because of all the issues I described at the beginning of this video from Krill, where it was just manufacturing issues. You know, they lost a whole load of staff during COVID. Feel really sorry for them. Massive work queue, had to focus on other projects. So obviously they were training new staff up, and then they did this to my fuselage. And if you look really closely at the 300, you'll see it says 00E. So after all that wait, they laid up the free fuselage incorrectly, which obviously cost them a whole bunch of money. Now, they offered me that fuselage as it is, with a little bit of discount on it, and I decided to reject it because that would just irritate me forever and a day. And it was also at this point as well, I realised that the colour scheme I'd ordered wasn't what I thought I was ordering. I believe it wasn't going to have all the brushed in orange, which is what I particularly wanted. So I kind of got a bit frustrated, went back in the queue, waiting for a new model, and all of a sudden, again, Clive, thanks again at Aerobatax, sorted me out. He said, you know what, I have actually got a white model which is sitting in the factory, ready to go. It was custom order, somebody wanted to spray themselves. We could possibly get something going on that one. So rather than wait again for the new one to come through, so the wings to be made still and a new fuselage to be pulled, I thought, you know what, let's go for it. I get it done, and then one of my buddies is going to spray it for me. So that's how I ended up with the white one. A bit of a long story, but you can imagine that on the back of already waiting 12 months for something, then to find out what you're going to get is wrong. I wasn't going to wait again. It might have just been a few months, might have been 3 months, might have been 6 months, I don't know. I just kind of wanted the model. But then that coincided with me then, shortly afterwards, losing my job and having a whole bunch of issues around that. But we are where we are. I've got the model now, and as you can see, it looks absolutely awesome. So I'm going to stop this video here. This is, again, a brand new build series on the Krill Ultimate. And I'm going to try and make these videos around 20 to 30 minutes long, because otherwise you guys are probably going to fall asleep. So join me next time, where we're going to start building. We're going to work our way through the manual, step by step, get it built. I mean, already it doesn't look like it's too much to be done. Though having said that, there's probably a few tricky jobs to get done as well, which I want to make sure are done right first time. So I'm going to take you all the way through the build, all the way through the install. We're then going to take everything back out of it, and we're going to get it sprayed up. I've got somebody lined up to that already, so I'll talk about the colour scheme, what we're going for closer to the time. And then we'll go through to reconfiguring the model and get it up in the air and test flying it and getting it all dialed in. So I'm expecting probably 4 to 6 videos in this build series, just depending on how difficult it is to get built. But each one will be around 20 minutes, 25 minutes long. Guys, please like and subscribe if you haven't done already. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well. Otherwise you won't find out when I release new videos. I'm doing really well with the channel right now. So it just started for a bit of fun last year in September. It's currently June. No, it's not. It's currently July. I don't know when it is because I've not been working. I start working next week though. So guys, come back, see you soon, see you next time.